Zvukovi violina odzvanjaju kroz prekrasno uređenu salu hotela Esplanade u Zagrebu, dok gosti u elegantnim odjelima i haljinama plesu prvi ples mladenaca. Marija, 26-godišnja nevjesta u raskošnoj bijeloj haljini, sretno se osmjehuje svom suprugu Davoru dok se polako kreću po pozornici u ritmu opinove melodije. No u tom trenutku, kroz glavna vrata sale ulijeće Marko, 29-godišnji mladić s poremećenom kosom, crvenim očima punim bijesa i alkoholskim parom koji se osjeća na udaljenosti. Baca se direktno prema stolovima gdje sjede njegovi roditelji, 48-godišnji Ivan i 45-godišnja Ana, koji ga promatraju s mješavinom šoka i srama. Ti si me uništio, viče Marko tako glasno da se glazba prekida, a svi gosti okreću glavama prema ovoj dramatičnoj sceni. Zbog tebe sam izgubio sve. Posao, djevojku, život. Ivan ustaje iz stolice, pokušavajući smiriti sina, ali Marko mu se približava s prijetnjom u očima. Sine, molim te, ne ovdje, ne sada, ovo je Marina svadba. Pokušava reći Ivan, ali ne završava rečenicu jer Marko podiže ruku i snažno ga pljusne preko lica, nakon čega se baca na mamu Anu i također je udara po obrazu, šokiran uvaštvom cjelokupnog društva koje gleda ovu nevjerojatnu scenu. 70-godišnji djed Stjepan, koji do tog trenutka mirno sjedi za stolom u kutu sale, polako ustaje sa svoje stolice. Njegove stare ruke drhtavno se približavaju štapu koji drži u ruci, a u njegov pogled ulazi nešto što nitko nikada prije nije vidio, tiha, ali snažna odlučnost. Svi su fokusirani na dramu između Marka i njegovih roditelja, ali djed Stjepan počinje hodati prema unuku s koracima koji odzvanjaju kroz salu kao najava nečega velikog što slijedi. Marko, koji je upravo završio vrijeđanje svoje majke, još uvijek ne primjećuje djeda koji se približava sa leđa. Marko, što radiš sebi? Šapće Ana kroz suze, držeći se za obraz gdje ju je sin udario. Njena haljina od tamnoplavih šljokica odražava svjetla lusterka, ali njen pogled odražava samo bol i razočarenje. Ivan se drži za čeljust, pokušavajući procesuirati ono što se upravo dogodilo, dok oko njih gosti muče, šapću i nelagodno se pomiču u svojim stolicama. Mladenci Marija i Davor stoje usred podijuma, njihov prvi ples prekinut ovom dramatičnom scenom, a Marija s rukama pokriva usta, šokiran time što joj je rođak upravo uništio najsretniji dan u životu. 22 godine. Govori Marko drhtavim glasom, njegova odeća nejaredno, košulja napola iskopčana, 22 godine me lažete. Govori mi da sam vaš sin, da me volite, a sve je to bila laž. Njegove riječi su pijane, ali bol u njima je stvarna i sirova. Ana se približava sinu, pokušavajući ga dodirnuti nježno po ramenu, ali on se trže i odmiče od nje kao da je otrovna. Ne diraj me! Nikada više me ne diraj! Viče tako glasno da se njegovi glasnice lomiju od naprezanja, a gosti počinju izlaziti iz sale, ne želeći svjedočiti ovoj obitelji drami koja se pretvara u noćnu moru. Djed Stjepan se sada nalazi samo nekoliko koraka od unuka, njegovi koraci polagani, ali odlučni. U tim momentima se njegov vraća 30 godina unatrag, kada je držao malu bebu Marka u rukama prvi put, kada je obećao da će uvijek biti tu za njega, uvijek ga štititi i voditi. Memorija mu se vraća na dane kada je učio Marka ribolov, kada su zajedno igrali šah, kada mu je pričao priče o ratu i ljubavi, o tome kako je obitelj najvažnija stvar na svijetu. A sada vidi svog unuka, deranžirana od bola i alkohola, kako napada vlastite roditelje na javnom mjestu. Dajte mi da objasnim. Pokušava Ivan, ali njegova žena Ana ga zaustavlja pokretom ruke. Njen pogled je pun suza, ali također i odlučnosti. Ne, Ivane, dosta je objašnjavanja. Dosta je laži. Okreće se prema sinu koji je sada naslonjen na stol, tešanje disanje, ruke zabijene u kosu od frustracije. Marko, sjedi i sasluši me. Sve ću ti reći, ali prvo sjedi. Njen glas je tih, ali snažan, kao majka koja je napokon spremna saočiti se s istinom koju je godinama skrivala. Ali Marko se ne smiruje. Umjesto toga, uzima čašu s vinom sa stola i baca je na pod, gdje se razbije na tisuće komadića koje odražavaju svjetlost lustera kao mali dijamanti. Neću slušati više tvoje laži. Saznao sam istinu. Mama, saznao sam da nisam Ivanov sin. Ove riječi pogađaju sve prisutne kao grom iz vedra neba. Ana zastaje, njen dah se zaustavlja, a Ivan se baka na stolicu kao da mu je netko izbio snagu iz nogu. Gosti koji su još uvijek ostali u sali počinju šapatanje, ovo postaje prilika da čuju obiteljsku tajnu koja je godinama skrivana. Djed Stjepan se sada nalazi direktno iza Marka, njegovom štap čudan se podiže, ali ne za udarac, umjesto toga. Stari čovjek stavlja svoju ruku na rame svog unuka s nježnošću koju je Marko davno zaboravio postojanje. Unuče, govori tiho, njegovom glas kao šapat koji probija sve ostale zvukove u sali. Okreni se i pogledaj me u oči. Marko se trže na dodir djeda, okreće se brzo, spreman na još jedan sukob, ali kada vidi djed Stjepanova lice, nešto u njegovom izrazu ga zaustavlja. Stari čovjek ne izgleda ljutito ili razočareno. Umjesto toga, njegovi pogled je pun nečeg što Marko ne prepoznaje odmah, duboke ljubavi, razumevanja i irene odlučnosti. 3 put godina te gledam kako postaješ čovjek, govori djed Stjepan polako, njegova riječi težile i smislene. 3 godina te volim kao vlastitim unuka, jer tu si mi unuka. Ne zbog krvi, ne zbog imena, već zbog srca koje kuca u tvojoj prsimice i zbog dugova koje ti samo mene podijeli. Ana počinje plakati, ali ne od tuge već od olakšanja. Ivane se pridiga iz stolice, približavajući se svojoj obitelji s novom riješitu očima. Marko stoje tu, gledajući u djeda koji mu sve ovo govori, i prema prvi put u mjesecima osjeća nešto drugo umjesto bijesa zbunjenost, ali i mali trag nade koje je pokušavao potisnuti. Mladenci Marija i Davor se još uvijek nalaze na podijumu, ali sada se njihov zabijene za rukovu, posjetivanju ovu momentu obitelji drami koja se možda nazreva do razrješenja. Djede, šapče Marko, njegovo glasa dječji, ranjavi, kao kad je imao 5 godina i kada je djed bio njegov heroj. Ali zašto mi nisi rekao istinu? Zašto ste svi lagali? Suze počinju teći niz njegove obraze, miješajući se s alkoholom i potim, čineći ga sličnim na izgubljeno dijete umjesto ljutitog mladog čovjeka. Djed Stjepan podiže svoju drugu ruku i nježno obrisava unukove suze. Pokret tako jednostavan, ali pun značenja. Niste ni lažali, nisi skrivali istinu. Govori djed Stjepan tiho. Štitili ste te od bola koji si sada našao. Tvoja majka Ana se udala za Ivana kad si ti imao 3 godine, ali Ivan te je usvojio kao svog sina od prvog dana. Nikada te nije tretirao drugačije od vlastitog djeteta, jer za njega tu i jesi njegovo dijete. Njegova riječi pogađaju Marka kao optužna realizacija sve ove godine, sve ljubavi, sve bedtime priče, svi rođendani, sve nije bilo laž. Bili su stvarni. Ana se približava, njena ruka iskošeno snalazi Markovu, koja je mrštava i vlažna od znoja i suza. Sinu moj, volim te više od vlastitog života. Tvoj biološki otac nas je napustio kada si imao 2 godine. Ivan je došao u naše live i pokao te je volio kao da si njegov od prvog trenutka. Nismo ti govorili jer smo htjeli da osjećaš sigurnost, da znaš da imaš obitelj koja te beskonačno voli. Njene riječi su puno emocije, godine potičnih osjećaje koji nasalno i nalaze na površinu. Marko, govori Ivan, prilaze se bliže, njegove oči također pune suza. Možda te nisam začeo, ali sam te odgojio. Naučio sam te voziti bicikl, bio sam na svakom školskom prigovoru, platio sam tvoj fakultet. Ti si moj sin u svemu što uistinu važno. Biologija nije ono što čini obitelj. Njegova riječi su jednostavna, ali snažni, i Marko se može vidjeti kako se nešto u njemu nazreva da promijeni. Djed Stjepan sada pogled skuplja svu obitelj oko sebe. Njegova ruke drže i Markove, i Anine i Ivanove ruke u veliki krug. Obitelj nije samo krv, govori on snažno. Njegovo glas podiže se tako da ga čuje čitava salu. Obitelj je izbor. Svaki dan biramo voljeti jedni druge. Biramo biti tu jedni za druge. Biramo pjerštati jedni drugima. Ti si naša obitelj, Marko, jer smo te izabrali i jer nas ti biraš. Ali Marko se još uvijek bori s emocijama. Povući se iz krugu, hodanje u strani, ruke zabijene u kosu. Ali zašto mi nitko nije rekao? Viče ponovno, njegovo bijes vraća se. Zašto sam morao saznati od stranaca? Od ljudi koji su me podsjeli nakon što sam se napio i počeo pričati o obitelji. Zašto mi niti dana niste došli i rekli: Marko, ovo ti je istina o tvojoj obitelji. Ana steže suze koje opet počinju padati. Jer smo se bojali, šapće ona. Bojali smo se da ćeš nas prestati voljeti, da ćeš otići, da ćeš misliti da te ne volimo dovoljno. Njen glas se lomi od emocija, godina skrivenih strahova napokon se izleje. Bili smo egoistični. Htjeli smo te zadržati koljena nas, sigurnih u našoj ljubavi. Marko se okreće prema majci, njegov pogled nešto mješavine bola i razumevanja. Mama, zar ne vidiš da me vaše laži više bole od istine koju ste sakrivali? Njegova riječi su tiše sada, manje ljutite, više razočarane. Mogao sam podnijeti to da mi biološki otac nije bio u životu, ali ne mogu podnijeti činjenicu da mi se moja vlastita obitelj ne vjeruje dovoljno da mi kaže istinu. Ivan se približava sinu. Njegova ruka tentativ segvej prema Markovom ramenu. Sine, greška smo ne cisnuli. Trebali smo ti reći kad si postal odrasla dovoljno da razumiješ. Ali molim te, ne kažnjavaj nas za grešku koju smo ne cisnuli iz ljubavi prema tebi. Njegove riječi su punu iskremstva, jer skrivanja i straha napokon se suočavaju sa Daylight. Djed Stjepan ponovno korači naprijed, ovaj put s još većom odlučnošću. Marko, pogledajte me, govori snažno. Onomu o čemu govorim sada će promijeniti sve. Svi u sali se utišavaju, čak i mladenci koji su se vratili na svoje mjesto, osjećaju da se bliže nečem velikom. Djed Stjepan dolje svoj kapital iz djepa, stari kožni kapitalik koji je tamnim od godina i jus, te iz njega čija staru fotografiju. Ova fotografija je stara 23 godine, govori djed Stjepan, držeći fotografiju tako da je svi mogu vidjeti. Na fotografiji se vidi mlada Ana koja drži bebu. Pokraj nje stoji mladog čovjeka koji izgleda poznato, ali nije Ivan. Ovo je tvoj biološki otac, Marko. I ima nešto što nisi znao o njemu. Atmosfera u sali postaje naelektrizirana, kao da se svi pripremi za otkrivanje koje će zauvijek promijeniti ovu obitelj. Marko uzima fotografiju drhtavime ruke, gledi u lice čovjeka koji je njegov pravi otac. Tko je on? Zašto me napustio? Gdje je sada? Pitanja se izvlijaju iz njega kao pokvareni vodopad. Godine znatižruje napokon dobivaju priliku da budu ispitna. Ana se približava svom sinu, sada spreman da podijeli istinu koju je skrivala više od 20 godina. Tvoj biološki otac se zvao Tomislav, govori Ana polako. Svaka riječ težila poput kamena. Bio je soldat, kao tvoj djed. Voljeli smo se, ali bio je mlad i nije bio spreman na odgovornost. Kad si se rodio, pokušao je biti dobar otac, ali... Njen glas se prekida, memorije boli vraćaju se natrag. Ali imao je probleme s alkoholom, kao ti danas. Počeo je biti vajalant, prijetio nam je. Morao sam ga prijaviti policiji. Marko steže fotografiju u rokama, njegov pogled fiksirani na lice čovjeka koji ga je napravio, ali ga abandoned. Gdje je sada? Pita on tiho, njegova glas jedva čujan. Djed Stjepan i Ana se međusobno pogledaju, kao da razmjenjuju tihi razgovor prije nego što riješe izdaje ovu final istinu. Ivan se približava svojoj obitelji, spreman podržati ih bez obzira na ono što slijedi. Umro je prije 5 godina, govori djed Stjepan nježno. Njegove ruku ponovno nalaze Markova ramena. Umro je sam, u bolnici, od ciroze jetre. Pokušao sam s njime razgovarati godine prije njegove smrti, da vidi si te, da pokuša biti dio tvojeg life. Ali bio je potpuno uništen od alkohola i gorčine. Rekao mi je da je bolje da ne znaš za njega. Ove vijesti pogađaju Marko kao fizički udarac. Sjeda na najbliže stolicu, fotografija još uvijek u njegove rukama, suze se miješaju sa seatom. Dakle, nikad ga neću vidjeti. Nikad neću moći razgovarati s njim, osjećaj ga, dobiti objašnjenja. Njegov glas je pun bola koji je dublji od bilo čeg što je prije osjećao. Ana se spusća pokraj njegova stolica, njezine ruke nježno obglavaju njegovo lice. Ali možeš razgovarati s nama, šapće ona. Mi smo ovdje, i uvijek smo bili ovdje. I uvijek ćemo biti ovdje za tebe. Ivan se također približava, njegova ruka nalazi Markovu ramenu, tvor obitelj krug koji će njih troja je oko unije. Djed Stjepan stoji abavdam, njegova prisutnost kao štit koji ih štiti od vanjski svijet koji još uvijek gleda ovu intimit obitelj scenu. Marko, govori Ivan soft, znam da si ljut i razočaran. Znam da smo zahtijevali tvoje povjerenje. Ali molim te, daj nam priliku da popravimo ono što smo pokvarili. Daj nam priliku da ti pokažemo koliko te stvarno volimo. Njegove riječi su punu desprit nade. Godine ljubavi sada pokušava biti ekspreses u nekoliko kratkih rečenica. Marko podiže pogled. Njegovi eči još uvijek crveni od suza i alkohola, ali nešto u njegovom izrazu se promijenito. Ali kako mogu vjerovati vam ponovno? Pita on. Njegova glas kržar od emocija. Kako mogu biti siguran da mi nećete ponovno lejati? Ova pitanja visi u zraku kao 3 daggers. Testirati čvrstu obitelji love koji pokušava ponovno se izgraditi. Djed Stjepan se spušća na nivo unuka. Njegova stari niz sting od napora, ali njegova odlučnost ne daje. Unuče, ljubav se ne dokazuje riječima. Dokazuje se djelima, dana po dana, godina po godina. Tvoja majka i tvoj otac, da. Tvoj otac Ivan pokazat će ti svojom love da si im prioritet u življenju. Ali moraš im dati priliku. Mladaci Marija i Davor se približavaju obitelji. Njihova vlastit brak svadba se sada pretvorio u pozornicu za ovu snižavaju obitelj dramat. Marija se obrati Marku s pažnjom u glasu. Marko, znam da je ovo teška noć za tebe. Ali pogledaj oko sebe. Pogledaj koliko tvojoj obitelji meaning ti. Njen glas je nježan. Razumevaju da ova moment pasabal more important od njene vlastiti svadba. Marko, governori Davor, stavljajući svoju ruku na nuvo rođak ramenu, obitelj je najveće bogatstvo koje čovjek može imati. Ne daj da gord i bol uništi ono što su ti godina gradili. Njegova riječi su jednostavna, ali istinite. I Marko može vidjeti vizdam u eyes mladog čovjeka koji je upravo započeo svoju vlastit obitelj putovanje. Ana se podiže fram zemlje. Njena haljina prašnjava, ali njen pogled jasno. Sine, ako me nećeš oprostiti sada, razumeti ću. Ali znaš da ću uvijek biti ovdje za tebe, bezuvjet voljeti te, bez obzira koliko godina prođe. Njen glas je tvrdo rezolut, ali take punu vulnerabilitet. Majka koja i sve što ima svoje dijete koje je možda izgubila. Ivan se pridiga također. Njegov sud rinkald od stresnoćce, ali njegova decision u pogled stronger nego ikada. Marko, možda nisam tvoj biološki otac, ali sam tvoj tata u svemu što važno. Ti si moj sin, i ja sam ponosno na tebe čak i sada, čak i usred ovoga. Njegova riječ je surprising Marko, koji je expected anger ili disappointed, ne afirmace ljubavi. Marko staje, vok nekoliko koraka ave od obitelj, njegova ruke još uvijek drhtave od alkohola i emocija. Around sve sale, preostali gosti voču tišine, witnesses ovu family reckoning koji sam fold nekako dam. Music has completely stopped, only sound being soft sobbing from Anna i occasional whisper from guests. Ne znam kako se osjećam, govori Marko finally, njegov bek trn njihovoj obitelji. Toliko sam ljut, ali istovremeno miss our ono što smo imali. Njegova voice brok na final riječi, 20 godina confusion i love i anger sve coming out once. Miss kada sam bio dijete i mislio sam da everything perfect. Miss kad sam tot Ivan was moj proper father bez any questions. Djed Stjepan walk towards ovi unuk, njegova cane tapping softly protiv marble floor. Unuče, childhood innocence can tebi restored, ali mature love može biti još stronger. Sad znaš istinu, možeš voljeti svoje obitelj knowing exactly tko su oni. To je deeper love nego što si ikada prije imao. Ali što ako ju lagati me again? Marko turn around, facing his obitelj ponovno. Što ako postoje još secrets koje ne znam? His fear je legitimate. Years distrust sada surfacing nakon ovog revelation. Ana step closer njegova sina. Her hands reaching out tentatively. Neće biti više tajni, obećava ona. Od večeras, svi cards are na table. Sve što želiš znati, možeš pitati, i moći da truthful answer. Her promise hangs u air kao sacred covenant između majka i sin, pledge za complete honesty moving forward. Ivan nods vigorously, njegova entire body language speaking of sincerity. Marko, questions će biti answered. Dokumenti će biti shown. Whatever need da know o svojoj past, o svojoj biology, o anything all ti dati. His commitment total. Jedan čovjek desperate održati familija together. Marko walks back svoje chair, sits down heavy, njegov head u njegova hands. I just, trebam vremena. Trebam process sve ovoga. 20 godina život se felt kao laj, i sada saznanje da isn't laj, samo complicated truth. His struggle evident. Young čovjek trying integrate conflicting information o njegova identity. Djed Stjepan approaches, sits u chair pokraj unuka, njegova presence još comforting despite zestko što kepan tonight. Time je good thing, unuče, ali dok je u taking vremena think, remember ovoga, obitelj koja stands around you sada not leave. We not abandon you like your biological father did. Ana sudden speaks up, her voice stronger than it been sva evening. Marko, want to tell you something što never told anyone prije. When Tomislav left US, slomio sam se. Tot život ended. Tot nikada couldn't give you što needed. But Ivan come into našoj life kao gift from heaven. On didn't just marry me, I decided love you kao vlastito dijete. Remember as Ivan, his voice stick with emotion. First time sam meet you, were 3 godine star, small boy hiding behind mama's leg. Ali when sam look u your eyes, nešto inside moga heart just open. Knew immediately da wanting be your father. Not because somebody asked me, but jer something inside me recognize you kako my son. This revelation hits Marko differently than anything else tonight. Ideja da Ivan choose him, iz ljubavi umjesto obligation, creates different emotional landscape than he experiencing prije. Really? He asks quietly, looking up Ivan for first time tijekom ovoga whole incident. You really wanted me? More než wanted, Ivan answer without hesitation. Needed you. My life didn't feel complete until you become part njega. You made me otac, Marko. Taught me što love really means. His honesty cut through Marko's anger kao warm knife through butter, reaching cezeci his heart koji he thought protected forever. Djed Stjepan smiles. First genuine smile of večer. See, unuče, you not just son po accident ili necessity. You son po choice, po love, po decision da bi familija. That makes bond stronger, ne weaker. Njegova wisdom, accumulated tijekom 70 year život, finally finding marks kojima it trying reach. Marko slow stands up, walk towards Ivan. For moment, everyone u room holds njihove breath, unsure što will happen next. Then, slowly, Marko extends njegova hand. Papa, he says quietly, using childhood name for Ivan da hante used 2 years. I sorry što hit you. Sorry što caused scene. I just hurt i confused. Ivan ne hesitate 1 second. Instead accepting handshake, pulls Marko into tight hug. Jedan da knocks breath od both men. My son, he whispers, nothing apologize za. Ja understand pain što felt. Ali please, let me pomoći heal from it. Anna goins hug, her arms wrapping around both men, creating warm circle obitelji ljubavi. Djed Stjepan stands, using his cane support himself, ali his face showing pure joy. Around room, remaining guests spontaneously begin applause, witnessing reconciliation što moms svidam deeply. Maria and Davor approach group, novi bride still wearing her beautiful white gown. Marko, she says gently, would you like stay za rest našoj celebration? After all, danas je night for family being together. Her invitation sincere, način extending forgiveness za disruption i welcoming him back into fold. Marko starts, then looks around room koji prije felt hostile but sada feels welcoming ponovno. Actually, da. I think bih liked da. But možda, maybe možda could get some coffee first. Clear my head little bit. His request reasonable. Acknowledge da ne fully sober but wanting be present za family. Excellent ideja, govori djed Stjepan, proud njegova unuka za making responsible choice. Ana, zašto ne order some strong coffee za all nas? Thinks we could use clear heads after ovoga evening. His suggestion practical, način transitioning from drama to healing. Dok Ana signals waiter za coffee, Ivan keeps his arm oko Markova shoulders, as if afraid let him go. Son, he says quietly, won't you know da everything I taught you, everything shared with you tijekom godina, came from my heart. Možda ne biological otac, ali sam definitely your daddy u every way that matters. I know, Marko odgovara, His voice still rough od crying but stable now. I think, part of me always known something different o moja storija. Ali frightening face truth. You knock? Easier being ljut than being scared. Njegova honesty shows maturity that many people twice his sake never develop. Djed Stjepan nods approvingly. Fear natural thing. Unuče. Ali krrik nije absent straha, it is action despite fear. Tonight, you're showing courage by being here, by talking s nami, by being willing forgive. His praise helps Marko standing little taller, feeling like man mjesto boy tantroma. Coffee arrives quickly, služba team obviously aware chancy situation. Ali instead awkward silence, conversation naturally flows prema lighter topics. Davor explains kako Haje I Marija met. Anna shares stories Markova childhood. Ivan describes funny incidents od his early days kako stepfather trying figure out kako bi good parent. Remember, Leksana, when you 6 godina star I decided da won't learn cook? Ivan spent entire Saturday making cookies s tobom, ali im used salt instead sugar. Cijela kitchen disaster, ali Ivan just smiled I said, well, learning experience. Her laughter infectious, bringing smiles lica everyone at table. I ate jedna od those cookies, admits Ivan, grinning. Cold tea hurt his feelings. Worst cookie I ever tasted, ali happiest I ever been eating it. Humor helping healing process, allowing family remember good times instead focusing samo na today's drama. Marko find himself smiling despite everything. I remember da. I tako proud myself. You both pretended oni excellent. Ivan gave some djed. Haje glances towards grandfather, whom also smiling at memory. Djed, you also ate jedan, didn't you? Ate dva, admits Djed Stjepan with laugh. Ali I secretly gave them birds later. They seemed enjoy them više than I did. His confession sends table into gentle laughter, tension from earlier completely evaporating kao morning mist. Ali as laughter dies down, Marko becomes serious ponovno. Can I ask you something? Haje says, addressing all 3 adults. Why you think Tomislav kon tebi otac što I needed? Was something wrong s him kao person, ili just wrong circumstances? His need understand biological father natural, part processing his identity. Ana hanguje glance Sivan I Djed Stjepan pre-answering. Tomislav isn't a bad person, she says carefully. Ali Haje very young, samo 19 when you born, I Haje struggling many personal demons. Alcohol, gambling, inability handle responsibility. Love you, ali ne know kako show it healthily. Sometimes, adds Djed Stjepan gently, najbolji thing parent can do a step away if decan tebi što dijete needs. Tomislav recognized da Ivan could give you stability I love da Haje couldn't provide. U njegovom way, allowing Ivan adaptium was act ljubavi. This perspective hadn't occurred Marko before. So Haje didn't abandon me out meanness. Haje left jer thought it better za me. The possibility changes njegov entire narrative about rejection I abandonment, offering different framework understanding njegova historija. Exactly, confirms Ivan. I never won't replace your biological father in your heart, Marko. Just won't be father što present, što here, što can help you navigate život. Your feelings about Tomislav your own I ne try control ili chain them. Thank you za saying da, Marko replies gratefully. I think I need learn about him, good I bad, kao part understanding myself. Ali ogs appreciate da you not trying compete s njegovih memory, even though. pauses, searching the right words. Even though what? Encourages Anna softly. Even though you already won, finishes Marko quietly. Im were father što raised me, što taught me right or wrong, što came school events, što helped homework. You real father, regardless biology. I stupid za not seeing the before. Even as eyes mist over. You not stupid, son. You human. Humans make mistakes, feel confused, need process complex emotions. What matters je da here sada, I mi can move forward together kako family. Glazba starts playing again. Soft background music that allows conversation but also signals the celebration continuing. Maria approaches their table again, radiant u her wedding dress. I know this evening been intense za vas ezeskih, but since we all family here, would anyone like dance? Sometimes movement helps heart heal. Marko looks down njegov clothes wrinkled, stained, hardly appropriate za wedding dancing. I not really dressed za dancing, says embarrassedly. I barely dressed za civilized society trenutno. His self-awareness is good sign that clarity returning. Nonsense, declares djed Stjepan, standing up I extending his hand. Dance nije about clothing, it is about celebration cija, family, love. Unuče, will you honor me with dance? Čini so dugo since we danced together. Marko remembers being small child, standing on djede's feet while they danced to old Croatian folk songs in the living room. The memory brings unexpected warmth to his chest. Da, djede, he says, accepting the offered hand. Would be honor. As they move to the dance floor, other family members follow. Ivan extends his hand to Anna, and she accepts with tears of joy still glistening in her eyes. Maria and Davor join them, their wedding celebration now transformed into something deeper, a celebration of family bonds tested and strengthened. The music is slow, gentle, allowing for conversation while they dance. Djed Stjepan, despite his 70 years, moves with surprising grace, his years of experience guiding his unsteady grandson through the steps. Unuče, he says quietly as they dance, tonight you showed me something important. You showed me that our family is strong enough to survive truth, honest enough to face secrets, and loving enough to forgive mistakes. I showed you? Marko asks, surprised. Djede, I caused him scene, embarrassed everyone, ruined Maria's wedding. His guilt still evident, despite the reconciliation that has taken place. The old man shakes his head firmly, his grip on Marko's shoulder tightening slightly. Ne, un shot courage. Takes brave man to confront family when feeling betrayed. Takes even braver man to listen when they explain, to forgive when heart still hurting. Grown man tonight. Marko. Proud of you. The grandfather's words carry weight of 7 decades of life experience, and Marko feels them settling into his heart like seeds in fertile soil. Nearby, Anna and Ivan dance closely, their leer tension replaced by renewed intimacy. Ivan, Anna whispers, thought we might lose him tonight. When he saw anger in his eyes. She does finish the sentence, but Ivan understands. The fear of losing their son, their family unit, had been overwhelming. But we didn't lose him, Ivan replies softly, spinning Anna gently. If anything, think we found him again. Real him, not the confused, angry young man who has been struggling these past months. Tonight, saw our son return to us. His words are filled with relief and hope, emotions that have been in short supply recently. As the song ends, Marko finds himself reluctant to leave the dance floor. Something about the movement, the music, the physical closeness of family, has helped heal wounds that words alone couldn't reach. Djed, he says, can I ask you something personal? Everything personal between family, replies Djed Stjepan with a smile. Ask whatever weighs on your heart, unuče. When you were young, did you ever feel like you didn't belong? Like you were pretending to be someone you aren't? Marko's question cuts to the heart of his recent struggles with identity and belonging. The old man considers carefully before answering. During war, Djed Stjepan says slowly, I felt like stranger in my own life. Doing things I never imagined I could do, being brave and terrified, making decisions that affected other people's lives. But I learned something important. We all pretending sometimes. Pretending to be braver than we feel, stronger than we are, more certain than we know. Tehates not dishonesty, tehates growth. But what if the pretending goes on so long that you forget who you really are? Marko presses, his voice revealing deep philosophical struggle that has been consuming him. Around them, other dancers move gracefully, but their conversation has created intimate bubble of grandfather-grandson connection. Djed Stjepan stops dancing for a moment, his hands holding Marko's shoulders firmly. Then you lucky, because it means you ready to become who you meant to be. Sometimes we must lose ourselves to find ourselves, unuče. Your anger, your confusion, your pain tonight, all part of shedding old skin so new skin can grow. These words resonate with something deep inside Marko's chest. For months, he has felt lost, angry, disconnected from everyone and everything he used to love. Tonik's revelation about his parentage had seemed like the final blow, the thing that would shatter his sense of self completely. But instead, it has become a doorway to understanding. I think, Marko says slowly, I think I've been angry at wrong things. Angry at Ivan for not being my real father. Angry at Mama for lying. Angry at you for not telling me secrets. But really angry at myself for feeling like I didn't belong anywhere. And now, asks Djed Stjepan gently. Now I realize belonging isn't about blood or biology. It is about choice. And they chose me, just like I can choose them. The revelation feels like sunrise after longest night, illuminating landscape that had been hidden in darkness. The music changes to a livelier tempo, and more wedding guests going down on the dance floor. But the family group stays together, forming loose circle as they dance. Maria legs as Davor spins her wedding dress flowing like white water around her legs. This is exactly how I imagined my wedding, she calls out happily. Family together, dancing, celebrating love. Are you sure? Marko asks, still feeling guilty about the disruption he caused earlier. I mean, I basically turned your reception into family therapy session. His self-deprecating humor shows that his natural personality is returning, the anger and confusion clearing like storm clouds. Best therapy session ever, Maria responds with grin. Besides, now I have great story to tell my children someday. Let me tell him about the wedding where Uncle Marko taught us all about what family really means. Her words transform the evening's drama into family legenda, something to be remembered with fondness rather than shame. As they continue dancing, Ivan catches Marko's eye across the circle. Without words, they both step toward each other, switching dance partners so that father and son are dancing together. It is awkward at first, both men are emotional, but uncertain about physical affection after evening's conflicts. Son, Ivan says quietly, I want you to know something. Some of best moments of my life have been watching you grow up. First steps, first words, first day school, graduation, job interviews, all of it. Biology didn't create those memories. Love did. Papa, Marco replies, using childhood name again. I am sorry I made you doubt whether I love you. Because I do. I love him so much that finding out you weren't my biological father felt like losing my identity. But now I understand him didn't just become my father. You chose to be my father every single day for 19 years. The two men embrace on the dance floor, no longer caring who sees them cry. Around them, the celebration continues, but for this moment, the entire world has contracted to this single point of father-son connection. Other dancers smile and give them space, understanding that they are witnessing something sacred. Anna watches from nearby, dancing with Djed Stjepan, tears streaming down her face. Look at them, she whispers to the older man. 22 years ago, I was terrified single mother with no idea how to give my son what I needed. Now look, they have bond that nothing can break. Perhaps because you made good choice, Djed Stjepan replies. You chose man who would love your son like his own. But more than that, you taught Marco how to love deeply, how to feel things strongly. Perhaps gift, even when it causes pain like tonight. The evening continues with more dancing, more conversation, more healing. Stories are shared, funny ones, touching ones, embarrassing ones that make everyone laugh. Marco learns details about his early childhood that he had forgotten, hears about Ivan's nervousness during their first meeting, discovers that Djed Stjepan had been the one to encourage Anna to marry Ivan. He could see it in his eyes, Djed Stjepan explains during quiet moment. When Ivan looked at you, so immediate love. Not obligation, not duty, pure love. No, he would be good father. The old man's wisdom had guided the family through the transition, just as it was guiding them through dishonor. As the night grows later, some guests begin to leave, but the core family group remains. They have moved from the dance floor to a comfortable sitting area, continuing conversations that are rebuilding relationships and deepening understanding. Coffee has been replaced by light snacks, and the atmosphere has become intimate and warm. Marco, Anna says during lulling conversation, there is something else I want you to know. About your biological father. Everyone turns attention to her, sensing that she has more to share. Marco leans forward, ready for whatever truth comes next. Tomislav asked me to give you something when you turn 21. Yes, sure if you should, especially after everything that happened tonight. But I think maybe it is time. She reaches into her purse and pulls out small, wrapped package that looks like it has been carried for years. Marco stares at the package, his hands trembling slightly. What is it? He asks quietly. The idea that his biological father had thought about him, had left something for him, changes the narrative once again. Ivan reaches over and squeezes his shoulder supportively. Later, Anna explains. And something else. I gave them to Djed Stjepan before he died, made him promise to make sure you got them when you were old enough to understand. She hands the package to Marco, whom accepts it with reverence usually reserved for religious artifacts. Should he open it now? Marco asks, looking around at his family. Part of him wants privacy for this moment, but part of him wants their support in case the contents are painful. The decision feels monumental, like it will determine how he integrates this new information into his sense of self. Your choice entirely, Ivan says firmly. Whatever you decide, we support you. If you want to open it alone, we understand. If you want to as here, honored to share the moment. His words reflect growth in his own understanding of fatherhood, knowing when to guide and when to step back. Marko looks at the package for a long moment, then at the faces around him. These people, his mother, his father, his grandfather, his cousin and her new husband, these are his family. Whatever the letter contains, it don't change that fundamental truth. I want you here, he decides. Whatever Tomislav has to say to me, I want my real family to hear it too. With careful fingers, he unwraps the package. Inside is a letter written in masculine handwriting, and small wooden carving of a bird. Marko unfolds the letter slowly, his eyes scanning the words quickly before reading aloud. Dear Marko, if you are reading this, then you are a grown man now, and you probably have many questions about me. I want you to know that leaving you was hardest thing I ever did, but also most loving thing I could do. I was not good man when you were young, angry, drinking, unable to control my temper. You deserved better than what I could give you. Marko's voice wavers slightly, but he continues reading. I hope Anna found good man to be your father, because you deserve someone who can show you how to be strong and kind and responsible. I carved this bird for you when you were baby, meant to give it to you for your first birthday, but by then I knew I had to leave. Bird represents freedom, freedom from mistakes of past, freedom to become better person than your biological father. The letter continues. I know you will probably angry with me, and you have right to be. But please don't be angry with your mother. She protected you from my problems, gave you chance at better life. If you become good man, and I believe you will, it will be because of people who raised you, not because of man who helped create you. Love, your biological father, Tomislav. Silence fills the space after Marko finishes reading. Everyone is processing the unexpected grace and wisdom in words from man they had understood to be irresponsible and selfish. The letter reframes Tomislav's abandonment as sacrifice rather than selfishness, making his absence gift rather than wound. Marko picks up the wooden bird, examining the careful craftsmanship. It is clearly handcarved by someone with skill and patience, every feather detailed, every curve smooth. He made this for me when I was baby, he says wonderingly. He was thinking about me, caring about me, even when he left. See, unuče, djed Stjepan says gently. Even painful stories can have love at their center. Tomislav loved you enough to step aside so better man could raise you. That is different kind of love, but still love. The wisdom helps Marko integrate this new understanding into his emotional landscape. Ivan wipes tears from his eyes. That is beautiful letter, son. Shows that your biological father understood what was best for you, even if he couldn't be it himself. I am honored that he trusted me to be father you deserved. There is no jealousy or competition in Ivan's response, only gratitude and humility. I want to keep this forever, Marko says, carefully folding the letter and holding the wooden bird. Not because I am choosing Tomislav over you, Papa, but because it is part of my story. Part of understanding how I got to have you as my father. His words show mature integration of complex family history. Anna smiles through her tears. That is exactly what Tomislav hoped for. He didn't want to replace your real father, I wanted you to understand that your real father was gift, not accident. Her interpretation helps everyone understand Tomislave's intentions more clearly. The evening is winding down, but no one seems eager to leave. This night has been transformative for the entire family, healing old wounds and creating new understanding. The wedding celebration has become something deeper, a celebration of family bonds that transcend biology and convention. Marco, Maria says as they prepare to finally say goodnight. Thank you for sharing this evening with us. I know it isn't easy, but it made our wedding more meaningful. Tonight we didn't just celebrate Davor and me getting married, we celebrated what family really means. Thank you for letting me stay, Marco replies gratefully. And I am sorry again for ruining your first dance. His apology is sincere, though everyone has long since forgiven the disruption. Maria laughs and shakes her head. Im didn't ruin anything. Im gave you a story I'll tell for decades. Besides, I'll have plenty more dances in our marriage. But this was the only chance we get to help our family heal. Her perspective transforms the evening's drama into blessing rather than disaster. As they gather their things and prepare to leave the hotel, djed Stjepan pulls Marko aside for private moment. Unuče, tonight became man. Not because you're older, but because im chose love over anger, family over pride, forgiveness over resentment. I am proud to be your grandfather. Djede, can I ask you something? Marko says quietly. Do you think Tomislav would be proud of who Ive become? The question reveals that despite everything, he still carries desire for approval from the father he never knew. Djed Stjepan considers carefully before answering. I think Tomislav would be amazed. Remember, he knew himself to be flawed man who couldn't control his anger or his drinking. Tonight, you showed ability to control your anger, to listen to reason, to choose love over hurt. It became everything he hoped you could be but knew he couldn't teach you. These words settle something deep in Marko's heart. He realizes that his biological father's greatest gift isn't his presence, but his absence, his recognition that Marko deserved better father than he could be. And his real father's greatest gift has been his presence, 19 years of daily choices to love, guide, and support. I love you, djede, Marko says, embracing his grandfather. Thank you for being wise enough to help our family through this. The old man holds his grandson tightly, feeling the resolution of fears he has carried for months about Marko's struggles. Love you too, unuče. Now go home with your parents and get some rest. Tomorrow starts new chapter for all of you. Djed Stjepan's words feel like blessing, sending the family forward into healed future. As they leave the hotel together, Anna, Ivan, and Marko walking as united family, the night air feels fresh and clean. The crisis that could threaten to tear them apart has instead strengthened their bonds and deepened their understanding of what family truly means. Papa, Marko says as they reach their tsar. Tomorrow, would you like to go fishing? Like we used to when I was little. The invitation represents return to cherished tradition, but also movement forward into renewed relationship. I would love that more than anything, Ivan replies, his voice thick with emotion. We have a lot of catching up to do. The promise of tomorrow's fishing trip symbolizes their commitment to rebuilding their relationship on foundation of honesty and mutual choice. Anna watches her husband and son making plans, her heart full of gratitude for evening that could have ended in disaster but instead ended in healing. Sometimes the most beautiful resolutions come from the most painful confrontations, and tonight has proven that their family is strong enough to survive truth, honest enough to face secrets, and loving enough to forgive mistakes. But as they drive home through quiet Zagreb streets, none of them notice black car that has been following them from the hotel. Inside that car sits middle-aged man with photographs spread across passenger seat, photographs of Marko, of Anna, of the evening's confrontation. The man picks up cell phone and dials number he has memorized. Da, it is Peter, he says quietly into phone. You were right. The boy doesn't know about inheritance. Tomislav's brother is still alive, still looking for ways to claim money. Tonikte's family reunion might have solved on a problem, but it has created big rone. He hangs up phone and continues following family car, his presence a non-threat to happiness they have just reclaimed. Tomorrow's fishing trip will have to wait, because tomorrow will bring new challenges that will test family bonds in ways they cannot yet imagine. Tonikte's reconciliation was just beginning of much larger story, one that involves secrets buried even deeper than parenting, money that could change their lives forever, and family members they never knew existed. Ako vas je ova priča dirnula u srce, pretplatite se na kanal i podijelite video s prijateljima.